Hi, I'm Natalia,
And I'm Leslie Marie,
and this is a We Are Fashionably Late podcast,
where we talk about the clothing we wear and the untold but very true stories about why we wear what we wear.
No, this
It does look cute on you, though.
Not
like
on me.
that.
I
like
look
that
like
in
a boy.
reverse. Yeah.
like a boy.
I could do that, but
Especially
not
with
hat.
this.
Wow, she's.
Can we see it? Hold on.
She's giving Gracie Abrams.
Gracie, yes,
y'all.
I copied your hair. But guess what, girly? You might call.
You're lucky that you could rock it.
Thank you.
You're really lucky. You look
I
so
appreciate
cute. It's giving your whole look today is giving Sam from
I love her too.
from
Love her too.
A Cinderella Story.
When I had also cut my hair, like
Your hair.
years back.
Uh-huh.
I went out in public and I was like, oh my god, I didn't have time to do my hair, so I was like, let me just put a hat on, and I put a little like black knitted sweater, and I looked at myself and I said, I'm giving Sam. So I thought there's someone right there. So
You always
right
do.
now I was like,
and
giving
what are you? Describe your outfit. I like the brown and the
so,
blue.
did the Padres win?
No, they
for
did not.
something they did. This was literally in my gym bag, so like.
Yeah. So today's theme is baseball.
It's baseball.
It literally says it on your shirt.
This is my Padres right here.
Woo, 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 woo.
I just okay.
Yeah.
This is my Padres shirt, my
Long
long sleeve.
sleeve.
It's actually my dad's, but I wear it, because it's like comfy or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's a nice little workout type of as well long sleeve. I like the fabric, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm wearing a Royal Otis hat. I thought the brown would complement the blue, especially those are their colors. Went to the concert. Love this hat. I'm a sucker for some good hats.
For a good merch.
But it has to be like an off-duty type of
Yeah.
kind. It can't be like this.
Like this.
I can't do that.
I'm realizing that the trucker hat style on me does not work.
No, it works
Really?
on you. I'm jealous that it works on you. It does not on me. I look like a boy.
Yeah. I
So-
love it, though. I love your look. It's
Thank you.
good.
And I'm in work
comfy.
attire under, so.
Yeah. For me, I'm trying to channel a wag, right? I'm also trying to channel Scarlett Johansson when she went to the Met.
Okay.
The Mets game,
Uh-huh.
and she had the Met hat. So this is my hat from Niall's concert. It's the trucker hat one that says "Live on Tour."
The show.
The show,
Not Love on Tour. Not to be
not
mistaken.
that one. And then I have this like Zara like jacket, just like an oversized black long moto
It's
jacket.
like a model off-duty type of leather jacket.
Yeah, like you kind of just throw it on, and then it's like a basic outfit. So I have my Levi's baggy dad jeans, and then I have this white Aritzia like basic tee, and then Natalie gave me a gift. I'm obsessed with these shoes, these slippers.
They're from Aloe,
They're the aloe ones.
the new ones. You
which we
see,
love.
everyone has
They're
the
comfy,
UGG, which
but
I
they're
still
cute.
want. But these are like really nice, like little shoes.
Yeah, because it's like I can
Well, they're
put
like-
them on and they're comfy.
The thing
still.
is that technically they're slippers, but because of the bottom of it being so hard, you can wear them outside.
I mean, I'm wearing it with my outfit, and
It looks
kinda
cute.
looks cute. We love it.
You're giving Suki Waterhouse.
Thank you. All right. Your favorite segment, our favorite segment.
Is I'm just a girl.
Love the vocals. Love
I'm trying to get my Gwen Stefani.
We love.
I'm trying.
You're trying. Gwen, we love you.
Ain't no holla back there. I'm sorry.
She probably won't love that.
No, I won't.
We love it.
Like,
We do love Gwen.
love that.
Bathwater.
Bathwater?
Yeah, that's.
Bathwater's my favorite.
It's such a good.
Yes, she performed it with Olivia Rodrigo.
It's so good.
So good, but I love the song before.
Yeah. Which was, I don't know what festival, but it was really good.
Coachella.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, that festival. Let's talk about something serious though. Guys, this is our first video that is after the election. Guys, when I tell you I mourned,
I think
we all mourned. And then you were kind of angry. And I think right now you're in the mode of like, okay, what can I do to protect myself, to protect those I care about, and to just kind of keep in mind like what the future may hold.
what could happen?
What could happen.
The fears that we have, things that could happen.
Yes. And so if you guys are feeling the same way, just know that we want this to be a safe space. We want it to be a community, and that we welcome all people. Like, please, 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 please know that you can feel safe here and protected. And if anything were to like happen in the future or anything, we'd really try to use this platform as a way to like educate and inform, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's gutting, but yeah.
But I mean, I take it as like in a way of, yes, we might be going a few steps behind on certain rights and certain things, but this is more than ever. I think this is the perfect generation of girls, of people that will stand up and continue fighting, and they won't stop.
Yeah.
So I think that even though we would have wished for it not to happen, but
you saw the people that truly were.
But I feel like this is the generation that won't stop until it changes back to
and that we'll use
to better
anything we can, especially even like socials and stuff,
because we have that ability to do it. You know, we don't want to be silent.
Now, speaking of this, you know, we had a 34 convicted felon as president, yet a woman who was convicted of only one felony, which again, if you see the documentary, I'm talking about the Martha Stewart documentary, the person who was persecuting her basically wanted to make an example out of her. It was a man. But seeing that Martha Stewart documentary kind of within the same week that everything was happening in the elections, you really do see the standards that are different between men and women, which we all knew, but seeing it from that, like, this lady could not even be the CEO of the company she built from the ground up.
That has her name written all over.
It's insane to me, the double standard. But I think also just watching that, like, she's the first DIY queen. We love her being a Insta influencer, grandma, baddie.
Honestly, she dips her toes in every little thing. Like, she's over here best friends with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
like,
I love
that dynamic. I'm like,
we love. So that was kind of my topics for this girl talk.
Mine is, oh my god, talked about the boys. The Ferrari boys went to the Gladiator premiere in London. I put my favorite boys, and yes, I put No Church in the Wild because that song was in the first Gladiator.
I think it was in the trailer for this one or something. Yeah, the first trailer.
Too.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Heart, they look gorgeous. They look beautiful. The way that Paul Mescal is a fan of F1, and he said in an interview he's going to the Las Vegas one.
Also, can we talk about the fact that, like, whoever's doing the Gladiator promo is so good? Like, they're basically following, like, him around.
Yes!
And it's like spend a day with him in Tokyo. That is so cute. Also, I think he went to the lookalike contest or something.
Yes, in Dublin.
Yeah.
In his
at his school.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it's funny how it started, that lookalike contest, because of Timothy Chalamet, and then he appeared there, and now everyone started. They did one for Harry, and Harry didn't show up, and I was like, King. I was like, which, I mean, I understand because he's probably going through the process of his bandmate brother passing away, but it was this thing where it's like everyone would make jokes about it, where they're like, I'm holding I'm gonna say Henry Cavill, because I saw one, a Henry Cavill lookalike in my room.
Stop.
And then they put the prize me. I'm
crying. I think it's so funny how it just got like, it was a joke, and then it became serious, and now they're like doing it everywhere.
And then the last thing I want to talk about is books. As some of you may know, those closest to me, or just in general that I rant about, books. I really, really love books.
I love reading.
Currently reading the third book from the Blue Ranch series.
It's so
Lost
good.
and Lassoed. And I literally started it like 2 days ago, and we're done. We're literally technically done.
Almost done.
We have like, what, 3 more
Because we're listening it on audio as we like
Spotify.
Yeah. Also, another thing too, I think the other book, the second book in the
Wild Eyes. Oh, no.
Better Than the Movies. That one too.
Nothing like the movies.
It's something like that, and it's so good too.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in our very like rom-com era.
I mean, I always win. But I feel like, especially when it's fall time, for me, I love the fall, because that's when I take out my little book, my little coffee, my little
chai tea.
My little book light, you know. Sometimes I would be asleep, and then like Leslie would like knock on my door and be like, oh, like, or whatever, like, or not asleep, but we'd go to our rooms, and she comes in, and like I open the door, my whole room's
like a little
dark.
Grandma with
my whole room's dark, and you just see the little light on my book.
Sometimes you'll have a candle on, you have your little shawl, your little
my little
drink.
music. I make playlists. I make playlists, as I talked about for when it was the Emily Henry thing on the previous episode. I make playlists for the books that I read.
She does. They're actually really good because sometimes I'll be listening to them as like if she's already read the book, and the song will come out at the perfect time, and I'm like, how did she do this?
And I tell her, I'm like, this song and this song you have to listen to when you get to this chapter. She does, and she's like, I get it. And
it's
I go,
so good.
Yes,
it's
or no?
So good.
I know what to do.
We love it.
So hire me as your music people, whatever.
Yeah. Also, there's more curated playlists that we have on our Instagram.
On our
for each
Instagram,
episode.
and then that we have on our actual Spotify for season 1.
Yeah.
We are curating for season 2.
Yeah. So please follow us. Please check it out.
Check it out.
You know, if you like music, we try to curate them specifically for the episode. Yeah, which is so fun.
That has to do with it. So
let's get into it.
the history. Go to home plate.
I can't even see the ball.
So the evolution of baseball. We're talking about the evolution of baseball hat outfits. I was gonna say hat.
Yeah.
Outfits.
Yes, you are.
So the uniform has parallels the development of the sport itself, reflecting changes in the technology and the culture.
Kind of like football.
And the fashion trends, similar to football. Same thing. You know, they have to. Not only are they testing fabrics and silhouettes and styles for their players, but also safety measures as well to protect their players as well. You know, even though their play is on the field and maybe in the love field, but
they play us.
but they gotta protect the players.
Yeah.
So in the early 19th century is when the first few uniforms of baseball came to be. So we have the uniforms are very simple, very practical. You know, we see the same thing in football. Like, I think they're just getting to understand what a football uniform is what we explained.
Like, it was very basic.
Yeah. They had, like, wool trousers. They had flannel shirts. And they had straw hats.
Which I think that's a notable difference because I feel like for football, even though technically it's more, like, body demanding.
Yeah.
It wasn't as thick materials in the beginning versus now this is baseball and you're running basically, which you would like to run with lighter materials, you know, so it's kind of like the opposite. I think it's interesting.
I think anybody or people that have like worked out or running or doing whatever, they know that lighter fabric is just so much easier and manageable when it comes to doing a workout. So the colors were often chosen by the team preferences or rather the ability of like the standard design, like so that everyone looked cohesive and you knew they were a part of a group. Yeah,
like it was a bit more organized.
And so transitioning into the late 19th century to the early 20th century. I'm not here. I'm a ghost.
Person's late.
They began to adopt more of a standardized uniform. So now they actually had a uniform.
Like for the team.
Now it wasn't just the colors. It was the uniform. So this is where we saw the introduction of the knickered style pants, which are basically like shorter trousers that end above below the knee.
They kind of look
they were like a little slip or whatever.
They were like not shorts, but not.
They were like jorts.
They were jorts.
They were shorts.
Because it was a different material.
And then they had the high collared shirts and stockings.
We love.
Still had the straw hats or a cap.
Which like, that's kind of always been the standard to have a cap.
And so those were like the mostly often like commonly known that they were worn, and they also started adopting logos on their shirts and either the logo of the team or the initials and stuff like that,
or like branding
sponsorships. But in the early 19th century, between the 1920s and the 1940s, they became more streamlined. They became more tailored, the uniform. Pants became longer because they said, hey, those calves are risky, my friend. Those calves are
You're
risky.
showing too much skin.
Too much skin. Put it down.
Put away.
But they went back to making more of a wool flannel type for the pants. And then they had...
Do you think it also, like, low-key maybe had to do with, like, the seasons? Like, it was kind of...
Yeah, because technically the baseball season is more towards the colder climate than... Like, I feel like football, technically it's also around the same time,
Mhm.
but they're moving more.
That their like
they're
bodies aren't as cold.
as
That's what
cold.
I'm trying to.
Because
yeah.
I feel like in baseball, yes, they move, but like if there's a pitcher pitching,
Or
like
they're just
not
standing
there,
on
or
the
they're just
base.
standing, you know,
Yeah.
like so they got to be a little bit warm, a little bit cozy.
That's
Why
what I
sometimes they wear like even the button up of like their,
Uh-huh.
which in this era, in this decade, they have the button
They
up.
introduced.
They introduced the button up. They have like long sleeves wearing under it, or even like that one like sleeve thing, because it's like they
Yeah.
gotta be warm, but they gotta wear their.
Yeah, they still gotta wear
They
their
do.
merch.
They
for
gotta
the
wear their
brand.
merch. They gotta represent.
Yeah.
Moving into the mid 19th or the 20th century,
Mhm.
specifically the 1950s and the 70s,
Mhm.
we see significant changes to baseball uniforms.
Yeah.
So now, no more wool fabrics.
No,
We
I feel
got
like now it's like
synthetics.
more common.
More common.
Like if you look back at the history, those are one of the first pictures that come out.
Yeah.
It's
You
giving,
Google,
yeah, like the 1950s.
you
yeah.
Google it, and that's what comes up.
Isn't that like kind of like the time that the Sandlot was in that
Yeah.
era, right?
Mhm.
So like
Got
it's more
Benny.
of that. Yeah, it's more of that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like that's like the standard that we all remember, or
Yeah.
we all can say a uniform for baseball has
Mhm.
always looked like. We don't remember those knee
The before, yeah.
shorts.
Yeah.
You know, we remember the pants.
Yeah.
So we have that. Like honestly, like we have more synthetic fabrics, so like polyester
Polyester.
began to replace the wool. We have a lighter, more breathable options. Again, this goes back to one workout when we talked about workout,
And more
and
like
as well as
accessories.
football. Just lighter, breathable. These men are fighting, or not fighting. These men are sweating on the field.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it
They
became
can't be
more, I
stinky.
guess, like the standard way that we know it.
Yeah.
They kind of got comfortable with it,
mhm.
and there was a popularity
Oh,
too in
yeah.
people actually watching it, paying attention to
yeah.
it. Yeah.
And because like also like around this time is when color
Was it
was
on
a
TV?
big thing.
Yeah.
But in case like some people didn't have the color TV, like again, the hues of the colors have a lot
For
to
black
do
and white.
with when you distinguish who and who's on the team.
I think that's also interesting that it has to do with the history of what was happening during that time too.
The art
Yeah.
time.
That time. All right, let's see. 1980s.
1980?
To the present.
We have the modern baseball.
Yeah. Even I feel like the materials that they use, the accessories, like the wooden bats, kind
Yeah.
of got more like standard to what we know now.
They
Like
gotta,
even more like it's more steel
Yeah.
than wooden. Yeah.
they have advancements now in the
Yeah.
materials and the design for the players.
For everything.
Jerseys now are made by performance fabrics that are
Mhm.
wick moisture, that provide better flexibility, which we talk about this during our workout episode in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just able to combat the sweatiness. That
Of
way
it.
they don't smell. That way it doesn't feel so as heavy. That way
Yeah.
it doesn't linger on for so long
Like
for
it
them.
doesn't. Yeah.
And it's just so easier to clean as well. Because I feel
Mhm.
like if you have wool or you have like all this thing,
Also,
you
it's
sweat.
like a big team too, so it's
Yeah.
like kind of like the person who's in charge
Pricing.
of cleaning.
Now you also have their names in the back, their
Mhm.
number, and then you even have the logo
On the
of the
side.
MLB on
Yeah.
it. And then if they're wearing the hat, sometimes they have something
Yeah.
adorned. Or even on the stadium, they
Even
have
on the
all of
stadium.
all their sponsors.
I feel like it's also like one of the like sports where
Mhm.
I mean all the sports, right? You get inspired if you're a fan and you kind of want to wear like their like team colors, the
Mhm.
merch, the thing. But I feel like this is one of those uniforms that even the retro styles like people have wanted to like
Yeah.
bring back into fashion and it'll be like worn. So
Mhm.
like even like the simplest way to explain it, it's like look at the baseball hat. Like
Yeah,
you can
it's
wear the
changed.
baseball
It's
hat
changed.
out. Like it doesn't even have to have a sports logo anymore. Like it
Mhm.
doesn't even have to have like the Yankees. Like it could have like a phrase or a saying or like a merch.
Even the color.
Yeah.
The color has a lot to do
Which
with
is so interesting to me that it's like something that was from baseball
Mhm.
got taken and now it's like it's almost like this thing that we commonly know, like, oh yeah, baseball cap, but you forget that
Yeah.
it's baseball. You
'Cause-
know? I don't know if I'm explaining.
Because
it
honestly,
correctly.
like even with what I'm wearing, I'm technically wearing their team.
Yeah.
But if I would have just worn a blue shirt similar to this and this hat, they like I could have gone to a Padres game and then they would not say anything because I'm
Yeah.
wearing the colors.
Yeah.
I don't have the merch, but I'm wearing the colors that.
Yeah, I feel like that's so interesting.
And we got the branding now, which that is our
The-
next segment.
All right, so for brand segments
Mhm.
and for collabs, right? Most of the notable collabs are done with athleisure brands themselves. So we have Nike, which has been a big supporter of MLB teams and has always had designs with the iconic team branding, either at their stores or within like the stadiums. If you go into the little shop, like it'll say like from Nike or whatever.
Yeah.
Another one too is New Era, which is for the baseball caps, which typically, like, if you have men in your life, like that's where they get it. Like, you know, that sticker, it's iconic, a New Era sticker.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I remember our dad would always have it, but he'd keep the sticker.
And
And I'd be like, take it off. And then he's like, no. And he'd
I
keep
want
it
them to
on.
know it's authentic, which is
like...
so. Also, I think that's interesting. Like, going back to the baseball caps,
Yeah.
like my dad was known for wearing baseball caps everywhere. This is a construction worker, right? And yet, like, on his day off or whatever, he'd wear them. And he was a fan of baseball. He played like lightly, right, with like family and stuff. But it's so interesting that like that is almost something that was tied to him.
Yeah.
And to so many other people, I can guarantee you, like, you know, to brothers, to husbands, and it's kind of interesting that it's like a baseball hat that had to do with baseball, and they could either be a fan or not even be a fan, but I don't know. I just think it's like interesting, and it's so
like
iconic.
Also, the hat has been very much personalized now. So you have like the denim, like Dodgers one. You have multiple colors of the Dodgers hat,
even for the brand,
or for that. So it's like the hat has been now also like redefined and designed for, you know,
and it doesn't have to be like this. Like, you could see like a New York Yankees one that's black, and it's like the Yankees colors, it isn't black, but still, you know. I just think that's so interesting. And then we have Majestic Athletic, which is also having, like, they have a long history with the MLB, and it just features like a lot of their logos, a lot of their brands, a lot of their apparels. It's mostly for like the jackets. That's when you know they're like authentic.
These are the
jerseys.
This is a brand that you see when you go to the stadium. And in their like merch store, like that's the brand that's there.
That's there. Yeah,
that's the
like
brand that carries all their stuff. Just so you know.
And then you have like 47 brand, which also has sports apparel, but that's more of like the headwear and the gear, that's stuff that they like hold. But they also offer a range of like caps and jerseys and t-shirts. Then we have Adidas, which sometimes they actually team up with the players themselves.
Like with
the specifics, and then I think going into how it's seen on the runway, we have a collection from 2018 spring. It's the Tom Brown collection, and it was he's known for his avant-garde like style of like designing, and it's very playful. But for that one, it's so interesting because he features models that had tailored suits with baseball like inspired uniforms. And so you have the striped socks, you have the caps, you have the gloves. So it's still whimsical, but you can tell the references are made through baseball. Another one too, and most of these collections are for like the men collections. You have Louis Vuitton spring 2022, and this was designed by Virgil, and then I'll put his name here because I always get his last name wrong. But this featured oversized jerseys. It also had accessories that had baseball inspired motifs and graphics. So I like Natalie will put the pictures, but it's very much of like giving like American sports culture. And then we have Ralph Lauren for fall 2018, and this collection included the classic sports. So there was other sports inspired, but for the baseball one, he really featured the varsity jackets for baseball. The sweaters too, but it was more of like a vintage inspired look, which I think is also interesting because you can go back to the 1940s, you can have the current style. It's all done like well too. And then the last two, the first one we're gonna do is the Gucci one, which I think people have seen. It's the Alessandro Michel one, and it's from spring 2018, and this one it's like the luxurious fabrics that they use, but it's very a maximalistic approach to it, and it has like Michel's signature like eclectic style, but you can tell that the references were definitely inspired by baseball. And so I think this one's probably one of my favorites. All of them are, but I just feel like when it comes to Gucci, it's almost like women can wear it too. Not that we can't wear the other one either, but I don't know. It's designed as well for like in mind for women as well. Even though it could be like one line, but it's still like I don't know, like I feel like it's more, you see it more, right?
Yeah.
And then the last one is the Givenchy, the men's spring 2022. And then this was designed by Matthew M. Williams, and this featured more of like the details in like the oversized shirts. So it had that kind of form of like a baseball shirt. It also had like sporty stripes, and they also had the shorts, almost like the Adidas ones kind of, but it was like his version of it, which I think it's again tied to like brands that have worked with MLB, brands that are well known for when they train too. So I just think like all of those are very, very inspiring. And I feel like obviously those are pieces that anyone can kind of get inspired by if you like have athleisure wear in your closet. I just think it's so interesting how it's like a global phenomenon.
And again, like if anything we missed will be part of our design. I want to mention though, for the first one that you talked about how they have like the lines and like this and stuff, as a graphic designer, as an artiste, you can very much know when a certain style, a certain fabric, a certain pattern is designated for a brand, but like for like a sport.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like the lines, like the specific lines that you know and stuff of like of a thing, you know that is for
like
baseball.
There's correlation.
You know the difference between the silhouette of from a baseball tee or like the ones that they wear jersey from a football one.
Wow.
So it's like, it's so funny because it's like you can know the difference, especially if you are or aren't well known in that fashion or in the sports, but you can tell the difference. But
as a designer, as an artist,
just want to.
I think that's also nice that it has its own unique like
little thing
that you can see from miles away. But this one was a shorter one
because we have
2 episodes coming this next week. And so we wanted to keep this one short and sweet for you guys.
A little love
to let you know that we love you,
love
and we
my
care,
fans.
and we're here. And yeah, you guys really like the football one, so we decided to do another sport.
Yeah, you guys love the F1 one, so
F1.
we made this.
Yeah,
we made that one. And then
let us know what other ones you want us to do.
Oh, the birds are chirping.
Oh, it's her alarm.
I gotta go.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Love you. See you next week.
Hey, thank you guys so much for listening. Please don't forget to leave us a review and to share this podcast with your loved ones, acquaintances, and really just anybody and everybody who will listen.
We'll be releasing new episodes every Wednesday. Also, you can follow us on Instagram and on TikTok at We Are Fashionably Late with 2 E's at the end, and at The Digitals Podcast on YouTube for more behind the scenes content. Sending you lots of love and virtual hugs. Can't wait to see you in the next episode. Bye.